Tyler Northcut, but you can call me Mr. Tyler Northcut. Clearly the object hitting the silver mine was a catalyst in creating what so many are simply brushing off as an incident, but the national media insist on ignoring that there were several elements of this problem that were here in Coosburg long before the impact. About 6 months before the impact, I arrived in the cozy town of Coosburg. While my title is officially activist, I prefer to think of myself as a harbinger of equality. I've righted more wrongs across this country than I care to remember. In California, I helped pass legislation so that all widows were allowed into speed dating semifinals. In Nebraska, I ensured that volleyball nets were lowered to European levels as the custom had become Australian height. My proudest achievement was in Ontario. There I helped bring peace to the 147-year war that had waged between a family in the hills and a colony of squirrels that had migrated there from Japan. None of my previous experience, however, could prepare me for the horrors I saw in Coosburg. As I'm sure the mayor has already verbally pranced around, Coosburg has the highest proportion of magicians of any town in the country. What he fails to mention to anyone is that roughly 3 of every 7 babies born to magician parents are actually born mimes. Mimes. The mayor, in an effort to maintain magician bragging rights, forces the parents to raise them as magicians, ripping their mime ambitions out of them. As soon as I learned this, the source of this information was a reliable cab driver / mime who had escaped one of the mayor's many demimings, I knew I'd come upon my life's work. I had to be a voice for the voluntarily voiceless who are being viciously voiced by violent force. I began assembling an army of mimes, sign linguists, and improv teachers who specialize in space work. Of course, City Hall denied all these claims, brushing it under the rug as propaganda being used as weaponry for the upcoming election. I'm not a man of violence, though, and I soon saw what this conflict was headed for. I left Coosburg about a week after the impact, when it appeared peaceful talks were no longer a possibility.